Dokkan has a major issue going on right now that they absolutely have to fix, and that is extreme class teams and builds. So you may be, just thinking about extreme class units in Dokkan and realize there's not really many good ones in the game, unfortunately. Now, this has been an issue that I feel like has been prevalent in the game for quite a while, but I feel especially after the 200% lead meta, I've seen that double fold. I feel like, twice as much of an effect where extreme class units are just not runnable anymore, and that's just the sad truth. We're going to go ahead and take a look here. I mean, at the beginning of 2022, it was looking pretty promising. In February, we got, this guy is easy, so it's like, okay, maybe they'll give this guy a 200% leader skill. Fortunately, he did not get that. We got Dokkan Festival Captain Ginyu, an extreme class unit. We ended up also getting in April, actually later on in March, not really necessarily villain, but we got extreme class Majin Vegeta, which is pretty cool. We ended up getting, after that, Raditz, can't really count him as a release, but it's another extreme class unit. Then in May, again, we got AGL Cell, right? Actually, he's technically at the end of April, right? All the way at the end of April, we see AGL Cell did release, so it's like, okay, seems like they're kind of consistently releasing these extreme class units, buffing these teams, trying to make both of these type of teams important. And then we didn't really get anything until, like, if you take a look at May, we didn't really get anything for extreme class. We got LR going to Frieza, but like, not many leaders came out for extreme class until even in July. We didn't really get anything all the way until the worldwide download celebration where we get LR Cooler. Now, LR Final Form Cooler, obviously very, very strong and important unit for extreme class, and right now, unfortunately, I would say probably is one of the two-ish, relevant extreme class leads in the game. Cooler with his Wicca Bloodline team is still very relevant in today's content, and that's because content hasn't really gone much more difficult than what we saw with Cell Max back in August, with the Wicca Bloodline Red Zone back in August. Like, around Worldwide Celebration is where we saw another mini jump in power creep, I say, but we haven't really seen anything like that since then. So that's why this team has been able to stay afloat, I'd say. But the biggest issue is that we got this Final Form Cooler, and then we got LR Metal Cooler, and it's like, okay, that's pretty cool. Ever since LR Metal Cooler, we have not gotten a single premium units for extreme class, whether it's a summonable LR or a Dokkan Festival exclusive. Now you may be thinking, that can't be true, right? No, it is very much true. If we take a look at this list I made, we could compare the extreme class 200% leads and the super class 200% leads. Extreme class, actually, let's take a look at extreme class. Has 7 200% leader skills. Again, these first four are talked about. Then we got Cooler, then this LR Meta Cooler. And we got Hearts, but he's not a premium unit necessarily. He's not a Dokkan Festival or anything. And he's really just the crossover extreme lead. It's like, if you really look here, the only relevant team that I would say is like mega top tier is the Cooler team. The Ginyu team is still runnable, can beat many events in the game, most events in the game, actually all events in the game, I'd say. Let me reword that. But it's not like, the Ginyu team is necessarily like a mega top tier team like it once was. We've been seeing unit power creep specifically, just not event power creep. And it's like, there's just better options in the units that you can run now. And, like the Cooler team, for example. And even if you do count the Ginyu team and the Hearts team, there's like 3 relevant extreme class leads, quote unquote relevant. I would really say Cooler's team is the only actual relevant one. And then we take a look at super class 200% leads. We have 22 with the new upcoming Kid Gohan and base Goku Carnival LRs. Based off of the Dragon Ball Z and Kai openings. If we take a look here, ever since the Worldwide Celebration, we have gotten 13 200% leader skills for every single basically super class premium unit that's come out. And if that's 13 premium super class units that have released, since then we've gotten one, and that's Hearts. And honestly, actually, you can't even count Hearts, so we haven't gotten any, right, is what I was saying. We got 1 200%. And it's like, okay, what are they really doing here? What are they thinking? This doesn't make any sense. This is just a big issue because the point of the 200% leader skill meta was to push another power group and kind of reset the game. So if every single like team and build in the game is reset, all these units are not as good as they were in 2021 compared to 2022 and beyond, and they don't support extreme class units that have released and may not be exactly premium LRs or anything like that, then what's the point? I mean, think of Goku Black and Zamasu, and the Fusion Zamasu. They're easier than the LR Fusion Zamasu. They came out, right? We could take a look here. They did come out, these two, with this EZA and this unit. And we're like saying, okay, they need a team. Once they get a team, they're going to be really, really good. And we haven't got a team for them, and it's been like 7 months, and there's just been nothing at all that we've been seeing at all. AGL Cell came out a while ago. We're like, this guy just needs a slot 1 partner. He's really good. We had physical LR Cells EZA. This guy, where is he? This guy just needs a slot 1 partner as well, and he'll be really good. In LR Cells EZA, we can't transform with him. His team and his partners that he wants to be ran with are just not that great anymore. AGL Cell is unfortunately just not that great anymore early on. Physical LR Cell, unit power creep, not the best even for Red Zone when he initially came out, right? He was solid for a lot of these Red Zone stages, but at this point we have units that can handle Red Zone many different ways and counter these super attacks and stuff like that. The unit like this Cell can't really do that. And that's an issue with these extreme class teams. The only team that they actually built up for this celebration was for the cooler celebration, right? We got physical LR meta cooler during that celebration. We got LR going on Frieza. We got a bunch of different EZAs for that, And this year we're seeing it literally right now during the 8th anniversary. Actually, if we take a look here, we got another EZA, STR Super Boo. We got this guy's EZA, and we're like, okay, give this guy LR Buhan's EZA. Give this guy, LR Kid Buu for part 2. Buff him, and we're good to go. But then the Carnival LR in part 2, hey, guess what? It's gonna be a Kid Gohan. Are you guys excited? I mean, I'm personally excited for that, but regardless, I would have much preferred a Kid Buu or something to help this unit out. If we're taking a look at another unit that released during this anniversary, we see Nova and Ice Shenron. Even if they have a full build-up like that, they're not really that impressive. Like, they could be okay, but they need a team, they need a partner, they need a support unit, an actual build to be able to run them on. And we're like, okay, this unit released, we saw that Shadow Dragon support memory that gives extreme class some buffs, and it's like, okay, LR Omega is going to come out and maybe bring some free-to-play Shadow Dragons or something. No, they're just not going to do that. No LR Omega. We don't know when Omega is going to come out. Omega can come out in 2 years from now still, who knows, right? LR Kid Buu, another unit that we don't have, he can come out in 1.5 years or something. We don't know when he's going to come out. And it's like, okay, they drop these units in EZAs and then they just don't support them, they die out, and then by the time we actually get a unit that can help them out, these initial units that needed help in the first place are dead, and it just keeps going in this cycle over and over. And that is a really, really big issue. And that's because they have not been giving us these leaders and what these team needs. I feel like especially Extreme Class would love a very strong slot 1 unit or something, like a Vegeta and Trunks type of unit, could be maybe universal across all these teams. Maybe someone like, Goku Black unit, or, again, a Buu unit. Honestly, and another issue with these Extreme Class teams is that so many of these links are very, I would say, specific to what you want to run. Like, you want to run a Buu team, you want to run a Cell team, a Goku Black team, you want to run like a Shadow Dragons team, right? Because these links for these villain characters, they, unfortunately, there's something that they did at the beginning of the game. They made them so specific that it's like, well, unlike a unit like, our God Goku right here, actually, he doesn't have that. Like, these units right here, this unit, if we take a look at their links and what they have, links like Saiyan Lineage, Prepared for Battle, Saiyan Warrior Race, there's also Super Saiyan that some of these units have. Most of these units really do have, right? And it's like a lot of these characters have a consistent key link, consistent attack links. You can't put this Buu next to Cell and expect him to cook, because that's just not how it's going to work. And that really limits Extreme Class team building even more. So I don't necessarily think they're going to do something with the link system like anytime soon, unfortunately. But I think the link system is another big issue of why these Extreme Class teams are not really powered up. Because at the bare minimum, if these villains share like a common link, like imagine if every like this was like prepared for battle for villain units, fear and faith, right? What if that was just the villains prepared for battle? Like imagine how good this would be, like as a key link, just key 2 for every single villain to have. You know, what if big bad bosses, actually big bad bosses is fine, but like they made it applicable to more characters, right? That'd be very helpful, because a villain character without big bad bosses, an extreme unit specifically, I'd say, it just doesn't work on their teams, and that's another issue unless you have these very hyper focused links that you get active at all time. So they don't like villains, and I just felt like making this video just talking about it, because like again, I even wrote it down here. Esther Kid Buu, another unit that came out, we're like, okay, we need LR Kid Buu or something like that, LR Buhan, EZA physical LR Buu tank, stuff like that. We haven't got them. EZA Omega, never got any help. AGL Cell, never got that help. Fusion Zamasu, Goku Black and Zamasu, never got that help, right? I mean, just keep looking down these extreme class units, you can obviously tell a lot of them like don't get the help that they want at all. It's just very, very sad and disappointing. And it's like, are they gonna ever fix this? Are they gonna do something about this? And honestly, I'm not confident that they will be able to do something like this or kind of focus on this, because they just haven't shown. What they really need to do moving forward in 2023 is release way more 200% villain leads and start actually focusing on these teams, very similar to what they did for the Guinea Force team. I think that's a team that they actually did handle very well. If I was gonna say, the Guinea Force team was extremely well done. I would honestly say the first unit that they do need to focus on for this, I think the units that could be closest to getting an actual team, is probably the Goku Black and Zamasu team. I feel like that team might be the most cohesive that we have in terms of the units that we have available right now. I mean, if we go to Future Saga and Extreme Class, we actually do have a lot of these recent relevant modern units and a lot of EZAs that we could potentially see with an EZA with the celebration. Let's say we get like an LR Super Saiyan Rose transforming Goku Black or something like that. Like maybe he's a turn 1 transformation or just a standalone Rose even. Just replace STR Rose. Let's say that as an instance, right? And let's say, for example, we get like a Zamasu that exchanges into Goku Black, or a new just standalone Zamasu bounding unit, right? Let's say we had those two new units, both of them support units supporting like, you know, Rama Gods or something like that. We have this unit that you can throw on the team, right? This unit can still be pretty solid. Maybe give them some extra support with the new LR. Excuse me. And they could start looking very, very good. LR Fusion Zamasu, right? All we have to do, make this new Dokkan Fest Super Saiyan Rose Goku Black guard in slot 1. Just a Vegeta and Trunks ability. Bam, this guy's able to start cooking. He's able to have a slot 1 partner, and he's able to, you know, get big bad bosses. He's able to get these links like, Nightmare, I guess, is another example. Dismal Future, Fierce Battle, right? Some of these things he'll be able to get active in a more consistent basis on a team that's actually centered around for him. Even STR Rose Goku Black as a floating unit, giving that 50% support could be very powerful. EZA this Goku Black unit right here, just give him an EZA, bam. There's like so many different options here for this Goku Black team that they could do really well. And in the future, let's say eventually we want to get just another buff addition to this team in the future. We can get Angel Zamasu's EZA in like a worldwide celebration, maybe introduce an LR Fusion Zamasu that has a corrupted arm like this tech one right here. That could be very, very helpful for that team. I feel like another team that we could also see get buffs pretty easily would be, I feel like the Buu team would definitely work. I think the Buu team is actually very, very close as well. You could potentially argue it's closer than the Goku Black and Zamasu team. If we take a look here at Majin Power specifically, we have a very, very strong, starting point for him already, because we have this guy, Esther Kid Buu on the right team could cook. I think even Janembu could be pretty solid, right? I mean, I did showcases with this Buhan, and specifically this LR Buhan. He can cook a little right now before his EZA. So you get this guy like Guardwing transforms or something, greatly stacking, he could start cooking for sure. Let's say we get, these 4 units right here. Let's say he gets an EZA, we have these 2 right here. We throw this guy on the team. Let's get an LR Buhan and leads the Majin Power category team. That could be pretty good. We have this Oop right here who could be a nice support unit for the Majin Buu team. EZA this guy as well. And then we have a nice cohesive team that could start cooking. Now obviously it's a very, very structured, smaller team, but that's what we really need. And then eventually over time, give these extreme class units more buffs. I feel like especially for super class Dokkan Fest, they have to make like these extreme class units the bounty units. I think that would be a very important change, because a lot of these bounty units, while can be helpful for some situations like Dokkan Fest Kid Goku, you got Hotshine. If it's a unit like LR Vegeta and Trunks, right, they didn't need support or anything like that. They're your general Saiyan unit, so we ended up getting someone like AGL Goku Black, who could be a solid unit, I guess, at times. Stuff like that would be very, very helpful to see in the future. But, for some of these units, I'm trying to think of a recent example. I guess I would have to go to the timeline of events, right? Just trying to think of a unit at the top of my head that's like, okay, well, we didn't really need this as a banner unit, right, to come out. But I feel like banner units necessarily haven't really been too bad in the past year in terms of, like, supporting these units. Like, honestly, I would say, where is this unit right here? Like this right here, we got the Resurrection at Blues. They didn't really need help. And then we got this Shaco. What if this was like a first form Frieza instead, or just a final form Frieza from the movie, and that was another addition to the Wicked Bloodline team? Like, that could be really good. Just another extra addition, final form Frieza. We don't have a good one in game. Another unit I wanted to bring up, where is the Goku and Gohan unit, right? I mean, what was the branding unit? This AGL Super Saiyan Vegeta. We don't need this AGL Super Saiyan Vegeta. What is he honestly doing to help? Nothing really at all. He's not a good partner. This guy's kind of dead on arrival, for being completely honest. While if he was like another Android unit or something like that, maybe he could have been an Android 17, right? Like, who knows? Or just another different unit. I understand that they want to, match it up with super class, extreme class, but that would have been very helpful for the Cell team if we got some other Android. Even if it was another Cell unit. Like, what if they just gave us another second form Cell? Like, it's a brand new second form Cell banner unit or something. Like, that wouldn't have hurt them at all. Even just a perfect Cell. Like, a perfect form Cell. That could have been really interesting to see as well. But they didn't really want to give us that, and that's really unfortunate. They need to really do stuff like that in order to help out. I think we already saw these releases here. Again, I'm trying to see if there's another release I can think of. I guess this Trunks and Gear was pretty important to ban. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, certain situations, it's like, okay, it is going to be helpful. Another unit I could think of, the AGL LR Super Saiyan, Goku, and Vegeta. I think they are actually in specifically September. But this unit came out and we got the Gohan and Krillin, because, like, okay, we have to match the super class unit with this, super class one, right? It's like, that doesn't really matter. What if this was like, I'm trying to think, like what if it was a Cyclopean Guard, like a banner unit or something, or another cooler somehow or something? Like, that could have been more interesting than this dud that we got. It would have actually at least helped a team. Even if they had the same kit, it would have been an extra extreme class option. That would have been very helpful. I think this was like Dokkan Fist Kid Goku and stuff like that. Bardock, honestly, I don't like this story at all. The store sucks. If we're being completely honest. Like, the store is not really doing anything. Like, okay, he supercharges Bardock, but Bardock's role isn't really to be a on rotation unit like that, in my opinion. I think he's supposed to be like a nice floating support unit with his orb changing. He's able to get to use the scouter. He's not really supposed to be a unit you run on rotation and juice up like that, I feel, especially with how powerful his Leaders Go Goku family is. Like, you're not gonna run this Bardock on rotation. So what is this tour really doing? What if this was like again, another Wicked Bloodline unit, first form Frieza or something, right? Or a chilled unit or something. Like, what if they give us chilled there, right? Just something else that we could have gotten, but unfortunately we did not get. So yeah, that's just my rant about this. I feel they really should help out, with these extreme class units. And again, a lot of people do feel the same way here. Who's that Goku Black? Yeah, Goku Black is a monster, right? Cooler team is literally the only exception. It's just a lot of people. Why do you think everyone's mad? Yeah, exactly. Like, if you're a villain lover, you're basically stuck with the cooler team, and it's like no one likes playing the same team over and over again. A lot of people are upset about this, and this is just really, really dumb. And again, we always want to get super class units, but it's especially important now with this reset that they have to break their trends. This team is good, but we definitely need more. Yeah, triple the amount, man. 22 versus 7? That's more than triple the amount. Like, what are they thinking? I actually don't know, but that's enough. 20-minute video, just me talking about what they had to do for these extreme class teams. Honestly, again, they had to do so much for these teams, but what are they gonna do? Just they can't just keep letting these units drop. As I mean, I guess technically they could, they have been, but they shouldn't let these units drop and just be complete flops at the end of the day. Because like this Boo Gohan is so good, but it's like you're not gonna realistically go out of your way to run physical Boo tanks just to make this guy look that good. For a showcase, you know, I'd be like, hey, you know, this is pretty interesting. It's not a bad idea, but realistically, you're not gonna do that. You want this guy to have a home, to have a team where he could really look his best, right? With other Majin Buu units. But that's pretty much it. And again, you can just see the difference here in the amount of units that we see, which is quite funny. But let me know what you guys think about extreme class and stuff like that. And if there's one extreme class team you would like to see buffed, let me know which one you would like to use most in the comments below. That's it for me. I'll catch you in the next video. Peace out.